Hi guys, Amanda Griffey here with this week's Tip, Trick, or Tool Tuesday. And this week we're going to be talking about the differences, the similarities and the differences between graphite and charcoal. Now, if you see them in the store, you may wonder, they look pretty similar. Well, they are pretty similar in some ways, but they're very, very different in other ways. First of all, they're similar in the fact that they are both carbon-based. They both can be very messy. They're also both graded on the HB or blackness scale, and if you watched last week's video, you'll know we talked about the HB and blackness scale in the lightness or darkness that graphite or charcoal makes, their marks that they make. They're very different in how they behave. First of all, because graphite is actually a mineral, and while it makes marks and it's nice and smudgy, it is a little, it can be mixed with a binder, and it can be made into a stick. It can be in the center of your pencil, or you can buy it loose as a powder. So you can use it with a paintbrush and brush it onto your surface. Now, charcoal is charred substance. It's made from a charred substance or burnt substance, typically willow or vine. Modern charcoal is made out of willow or vine. But so if you've ever taken a stick out of a campfire or a bonfire and made a mark with it, that's charcoal, essentially. It's just what is left from the incomplete combustion of typically wood. Some of the earliest artwork was done with charcoal, which would have been like the cave paintings, and that's exactly what they would have used, was the tip of a charred stick. So modern charcoal, like I said, is actually, there's a process to it, but it's usually made from willow. A lot of it is made from willow. And it is available as a stick. This is probably a compressed stick where it's actually been loose and they've bound it in a stick with a little bit of a binder, so it's handy. Willow charcoal usually comes in longer sticks and it looks like a twig because it's essentially what it is. It's the charred twig. It's very light, it's very hollow, it has a very different molecular structure than graphite does. Now, it's also available loose as a powder. The biggest difference in one of the biggest differences, I think, between charcoal and graphite is that graphite, when you get a lot of graphite down, it tends to be very shiny because of its mineral content, because it's a mineral. Whereas charcoal is very flat. It's a very dark, rich, flat color. And I don't know if you can see the differences there, but they have a tendency, especially if you see it on the graphite scale, you can see when I shine this or move this, and you can see it in the light, it's very shiny. That's graphite. Charcoal does not do that. So I will make this mark here real quick. Charcoal doesn't do that. Graphite does. Graphite's very shiny. That's sometimes a downfall of graphite. But anyways, that's really the differences of charcoal and graphite in a nutshell. I hope that was helpful. You guys it may inform your decision of what medium to use. Both are good for sketching. Charcoal tends to be very, very black from the get-go, whereas graphite, you can create much lighter drawings if you're interested in those, and good for underdrawings and sketches, whereas charcoal, it's a very dark mark. It can be a little bit difficult to erase. So that might help inform your artwork or what you choose to use, how you like to work, and I hope that was helpful. Next week, we're going to be talking about pastels and the different types of pastels. So, and hopefully that one will be helpful to you too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you tune in to next week.